Welcome to another Tag Team Talent Search podcast, the podcast that focuses on talent from around the world. And here's the guy that's produced live and television entertainment for the last 40 years, and he's going to be the host of the show, for goodness sakes. Here he is, Scott Edwards.
Hey, welcome back to Tag Team Talent Podcast. Man, we have some fun videos coming up for you today. But look, what's next to me? That's right, it's famous stand-up comic, Chicago Steve Barkley.
Hey, thank you. It's great to be here.
Good to have you on the podcast.
That's great.
You've been doing stand-up comedy quite a while.
I have, unfortunately. It's been almost 50 years.
50 years,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
That is a long time to do anything, but stand-up comedy being such a difficult career,
Yeah.
and you did make a living, and you really went into it, right?
I have. I've made a living, and I got to tell you a story. I was in Philadelphia, and I was at a cigar shop, and I bumped into Bill Cosby.
Oh.
And we had some drinks, and then I woke up a few days later, and he was still there. And actually, but I bumped into him, and we were talking. I said, I'm playing the Funny Bone on South Street, and I said, it's a treat to meet you. And he said, he goes, let me tell you something. He goes, even a mediocre comic can make at least $100,000 a year. And he goes, if you really work hard, you can make more. And I never forgot that. And I've had some tastes of fame, but never really got up that made that final step into some of my peers that I've worked with.
Well, we both know people that were in that top 1% that got famous, but it is rare.
Yeah.
Most of the people we've worked with, your peers, were people that, like you said, picked a career path and made a living at it. And then we know a lot of people that went off into writing,
right,
production, and other things. We should explain that Chicago, Steve Barkley, got that monogram because he is from Chicago, born and raised, right?
Well, a little town just south of Chicago. And what happened was I hitchhiked to California in 1971, and I was going to stay 3 weeks. I brought $350 in a backpack. I hitchhiked out here. And I was going to stay 3 weeks, and I ended up in Pacific Grove. And I thought, I don't want to go back. I want to stay. I was homeless, and I met these people at. There's a celebration in Pacific Grove called the Feast of Lanterns, and they have a big fireworks demonstration. And I went down. I was walking down to the beach to see the fireworks, and people were having a party. And this guy goes, "Hey, we're having a party. Come on in." And I went, "Oh, great!" They had food, and so I met this couple named Steve and Stephanie. And Steve was from New York, and Stephanie was a local. And we hung out all that night, and they said, well, what are you going to do after the party? And I said, well, nothing. They go, come on over to our place. So we went over to their place, and the guy that invited me in...
Californians are very friendly.
It was back then. In 71, it was amazing. And so Stephanie said to me, she goes, well, where do you live? And I go, well, I'm kind of sleeping on the beach. And she's an earth mama, and she goes, oh, no, we can't have that. You can sleep on the living room floor. And I said, really? She
wow.
Goes, yeah, her parents owned the home. They didn't pay any rent. And she worked at the Pacific, at a little restaurant on Lover's Point. She was a cook and would bring home every night all the food they didn't sell.
That's amazing.
We were eating for free. So I lived there for a year. And her husband's name was Steve. I was traveling with a guy named Steve from Yazoo City, Mississippi. And
wait a minute. Your name is Steve.
Exactly. Pretty soon, there's 5 guys named Steve there, and a Stephanie. And the phone would ring, and they go, is Steve there? And Stephanie would say, where's he from? And they go, New York. She go, New York, Steve, telephone. So I became Chicago Steve.
Oh, that's a great story. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
So you know about comedy. So we have a lot of that today. Why don't we jump into our videos?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, my co-host, Chicago Steve Barkley, we're going to jump into our first video sent to us from a comic that's doing really well, kind of in our age range. He is Don McEnery, and he just finished a comedy special, and he sent me some of that video to share with the audience. This is about 3 months old. Ladies and gentlemen, let's see some stand-up comedy by Don McEnery.
I saw a commercial the other day for a mattress company was doing a commercial on TV, and their slogan was, we take sleep to the next level. We take sleep to the next level. What is the next level of sleep? Death. I don't think I want that mattress. Do you have a mattress where I wake up refreshed and feeling alive? That I could get into. Everything's changed too. The news. You watch cable news, there's too much going on cable news, you know what I mean? When I was a kid, there was just one guy talking to you on the screen telling you the news, and it was always a guy, because until like 76, they didn't realize women could read too. Enlightened world we lived in. But there's just too much going on the screen, you know what I mean? There's like the person there, the anchor, and then there's that grid of people in squares. It looks like the Brady Bunch is there to answer political questions. And then there's the crawl on the bottom. The crawl, I hate the crawl. The crawl, because I can't not look at it. You know what I mean? I'm trying to pay attention to the person talking. Yeah, I'm listening. Okay, yeah, good, I'm listening. I got you. No, I'm not paying attention. But 5 minutes in, I'm looking at the crawl. And that gets me mad, because I'm paying like $150 a month for cable, and now I'm reading the TV. And I can't concentrate on what I'm reading, because this guy keeps talking. It's like, hey, shut up, I'm trying to read the news. You know what they didn't have when we were young too? When I was young, they didn't have the live satellite feed. You know that thing where guy in America can talk to somebody 5,000 miles away and instantly they're connected. But it's not always so instant. You ever notice that? There's always like some kind of gap of time between when the guy asks the question and the other guy hears the question. Sometimes it's a pretty big gap too. Sometimes you could go out for lunch. But the guy in America goes, well, Jim, it must be harrowing there on the eve of such a big battle. And then Jim's over there. Yes, Bill.
Gentlemen, that was Don McEnery. Pretty good video. What'd you think?
Pretty good. This guy's good. I like his style.
You could tell that he's a seasoned professional, and why he got his own TV special. It was really nice of him to share that video with us. And what I like is that the comedy, it's clean, it's relatable, and he has a good flow. Some comics are laid back, and others are kind of manic, and this was a good pace. It was very good, very good. I didn't recognize him at first, but now when he started talking, I've seen him before. He's very good. He's very good. Well, that was Don McEnery. We want to thank him for sending in the video, but we've got more amazing comedy. Oh my God. I know, stand-up comedy. Who knew? This next set was sent to us by Linda Margaret Smith as she was doing some work down at the Laugh Factory in Los Angeles. Very talented comedian. She sent us this video, so let's check it out. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Linda Margaret Smith.
Whoa, yes, I'm the great pretender. Pretending that I'm doing well. Yeah, pretending that I'm doing well. Yeah. My name is Linda Marcus Smith. That's 3 names. Laugh Factor is only 2. What's with that? How many of you have 3 names? Clap it up. Yeah. People say to me, you go by 3 names. What are you, some kind of diva? No, I don't go by 3 names because I'm a diva. I go by 3 names because I'm still pissed about John Wilkes Booth. I know we're in the theater. Yeah. He was too the day that Lincoln got shot, right? I'm so mad about it, because if you think about it, he was an actor in a theater, and he got famous with 1 headshot. Oh! Blows my mind too. Yeah, I started comedy, and it's really, really hard doing comedy, because I'm so stinking hot, right, sir? You get it. It's hard doing comedy because I'm so old. You get it, right? Give it up for him. Sitting in the front. She's relating with you. work so hard. It's not the year of the wife. Just kidding, just kidding. And it's really hard because everybody thinks that because I'm old and I have nice hair, it's a wig. Pull it, sir. It's not a wig. It's like, no. I'd rather find your G-spot. Sister, don't bum rush me. I come from, you're looking at me here, I'm from New York. Don't I sound like a New Yorker? No? Oh my gosh. I love messing with New Yorkers. All the gals that came with me from New York, I love messing with New Yorkers. Have you tried? It's so much fun. You guys should try it. So what I do is I go up to them and I say, hey, I'm from the Upper West Side. And they say, forget about it. No, you're not. I go, oh, not the good one, not New York. I'm from the Upper West Side of the map, Oregon. I know. A little town you've never heard of in the news before at all. Portland. Exactly. My town is now a punchline. Do you understand the frustration? Yeah. I lived there and I left. I couldn't wait to leave Portland. Anybody here from Portland? Good. Anyway.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, that was Linda Margaret Smith doing a little set. Apparently she's from Portland, Oregon. What'd you think? That was a little different.
I think I worked with her.
No.
But Harvey's in Portland back in the 80s.
Wow.
I think she's been around a long time too.
Well, she mentioned that she had a wig and didn't have a wig.
Yeah.
She mentioned that she was old, white, and a stand-up comic, which is rare.
Yeah, no kidding.
But that was great. Thank you, Linda, for sending that in. And Chicago, it sounds like you're connecting with these comics.
I am because I'm old and white.
Perfect. Well, I got something different for you.
Okay, all right.
So for our final classic rewind, final video of this show, my partner and I, Bob Stobener, we did a TV series, and our TV special on Fox Network was hosted by Willie Tyler and Lester.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
God.
Famous comic ventriloquist.
Oh man!
And we became very good friends with Willie, and he sent us some video.
And he's still working.
He's still putting stuff out there.
Yeah,
it's amazing. But this was back in the mid-'80s, and so let's check it out. Willie Tyler and Lester as the host of our TV special. I hope you enjoy this, Steve.
I think I will. I love Willie.
Thank you very much, and a pleasant good evening to everybody, right?
Right, welcome to Lights Unlimited, right? Live, you know what I mean, man? Yeah. Did you park the car? Right, the car's parked, don't worry about it. By the way, we got a nice parking lot outside, a lot of security. We got an announcement. Is there somebody here tonight who has license plate number 1684? Your lights are gone. Well, I noticed you got a microphone there, right? Yeah, you know some watching people watching your mouth, man. You know, you really can't tell by watching his mouth. Don't watch his mouth, see? Because sometimes his mouth is not moving, my mouth is not moving, and people are saying, where in the hell is the sound coming from?
Oh, that was good.
Now, another thing, you know, willpower and determination. You're into that, right? Right. Now, I always say this a lot, see? When you got the willpower, you got the determination, you know, you can do it. Now, first of all, I will give you this. I want you to hum what I just did, huh? Hum what I just did. Pick me up, man. Oh. You better wake up, man. How's that? That's good. Now, what we got to do now? No, wait, hold it. That's the easy part. Wait a minute. Okay. Now, what we got to do now? We're going to give you what we just did simultaneously. This I gotta see. Okay, now when I point to you, I want you to do the exact same thing that you just did. Are you ready? Yeah. You ready? Yeah. Here we go. Now watch me. Okay. I'll nod. Okay, good.
Hey! Wow, that was great.
Thank you.
That was Willie Tyler and Lester, good friends of mine, and wow, that was a great little bit of ventriloquism.
It was. You know, I saw one of your shows, and you had one of my favorite ventriloquists in the world. And you got to know who I'm talking about, David Strassman.
Yeah, he's on this podcast quite a bit.
Yeah, I haven't seen David in probably 30 years, but he used to come down to Monterey. I used to book a little room down there, and he used to kill down there. He was so funny. The audience would actually get into arguments with the dummy.
Oh, with Chuck?
With Chuck, and he would just sit there and go, "I'm not in this," and people would be yelling things and get mad at Chuck, and it was so funny.
Well, ventriloquism's a great art form, and we want to thank Willie Tyler and his pal Lester for sharing that video with us. And we were proud to have him as the host of our first TV special. Speaking of proud, Chicago Steve Barkley, thank you so much for being a part of the show.
Thank you.
Being our co-host this week. We'll be back next week with another great show. If you have a great talent, go to our website, www.tagteamtalentsearch.com, and we'll connect. All right? See you next week. Bye.
Thanks for watching the Tag Team Talent Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you'll never miss the next big talent reveal. And don't forget to write in the comments below which performer you thought was best in this episode. We love hearing from you. See you soon!